Hey, how's it going everyone? How are you guys doing today? It's Noel here, and welcome back to another Sneak 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about competitive weapons. What are the best weapons that you can use this season to reach that Fable rank, or even reach that Legend rank if you're going for that Not Forgotten. This season is definitely the best for getting your competitive pinnacle weapons, if you haven't gotten them already. We're going to be going over a bunch of weapons that hopefully are going to make your journey to Fable or Legend, whichever you're going for, a little bit easier. And since this season, there's just a ton, and I really do mean a ton of weapons that are amazing, we're actually not going to get to talk about all of them because we would be sitting here for like an hour or two. Even just talking about the hand cannons will probably take us like 30 minutes. So we're not going to be taking a look at all of them. We're just going to take a look at a couple of weapons from each weapon class. So if you guys feel like I left a certain weapon out that really deserves some attention in competitive, then definitely comment it in the comments below and why you think that it's a good weapon. Also, we're not gonna talk about competitive weapons, so things like the Lunasao, things like the Not Forgotten, the Recluse, the Mountaintop, those are not gonna be in this video as recommendations because they're weapons that you have to actually hit Fable or Legend before to actually have them. So all of those weapons are actually good, and definitely you can put in a lot of work in competitive. We're just going to be talking about weapons that you can get if you never even played the competitive playlists. But anyways, now let's actually get started with this, and we're going to be starting with the fan favorites, the hand cannons. And this one was a very difficult choice just because there's so many good hand cannons out there. But for the first three hand cannons we're going to be talking about, for legendary hand cannons at least, they are the Truss, the Spare Rations, and the All-Stringer. First of all, the Truss, it's a very easy weapon to get. It just randomly drops some Gambit, or you can also buy it from the Drifter once you reset your rank once. It's also a 180 hand cannon, meaning that it's a very easy hand cannon to use. If you have never used a hand cannon and are trying to get some kills for your Luna quest, then this one is going to be the hand cannon that you're going to go for. This is the hand cannon that I used all the way back in Season 4 to get my Luna's Howl, and even in the current season it is still an amazing hand cannon that can put in a lot of work in competitive. Especially if you can actually manage to get one with explosive rounds. Explosive rounds make this weapon just a whole another level of just amazing. With explosive rounds on the Truss, you have amazing 1v1 potential just because of the amount of flinch you're gonna give people. So if you're new to hand cannons but really want an effective hand cannon, the Truss is gonna be your best bet. Next up we have the Spare Rations, which is a lightweight frame hand cannon, meaning that you move faster when you have the weapon equipped, so you get extra movement, and you also have an excellent, just amazing handling with the weapon. You can get this one as a random drop from Gambit Prime, or from the Reckoning tier 2 and 3 when it's Oryx week. And this one, it's a little bit tougher to get than the Trust, since there is some RNG to getting it, but your chances of getting it are actually pretty good in the Reckoning. And what you want in the Spare Rations, and I guess any other hand cannon actually, is you want as much range as you can get. With the hand cannon range nerf, range is more important than ever before. You just want to get as many range perks as you can, and maybe some rapid hit as well, because rapid hit is just amazing, and it really helps with the recoil, especially on console, if you're playing on console. The Spare Rations is just a fantastic hand cannon. That's one of the best in the game, if you can get some range perks. You really want to get some range perks now. Next up we have the All-Stringer, and this one has to be the easiest hand cannon to get, as long as you have leveled up your Chalice of Opulence. If you haven't leveled up and you have already unlocked the green runes, then this one you can just get it first try. The All-Stringer is a very good 140 hand cannon that can roll a lot of range perks. So just like with the Spare Rations, you're looking for as many range perks to increase your range as much as you can. With the All-Stringer you do have an advantage, which is the Masterwork, since you can choose it, so you can always guarantee that range Masterwork, meaning that you always will have plus 10 range. So that's pretty good. The All-Stringer actually feels pretty similar to the Spare Rations, except that it doesn't have the extra handling that you get for being a 150, and also the built-in extra mobility. But it is a very satisfying weapon to shoot, and a very consistent weapon. Consistency is the main thing on the All-Stringer. If you can get used to the recoil of the All-Stringer, which is barely any, it's a very stable weapon, this weapon is super consistent, and one of the best feeling hand cannons on console. So if you're on console, I actually recommend that you go for an All-Stringer, you are not gonna regret it. If you get a good roll in your All-Stringer, I guarantee that you're gonna love it. And some of you guys might be wondering now, what about the exotic hand cannons? And yeah, the exotic hand cannons are good. The Last Word, the Thorn, the Crimson, the Ace of Spades, even. They're all really good hand cannons. If you like either of those hand cannons, then you should definitely use them. Last Word, well, it takes a little bit to get used to if you're on console. It is definitely worth it. And if you're on PC, then you already know the deadliness of the Last Word. The Thorn is also a very good one, especially now after the hand cannon nerf. The range is still pretty good, and it can still 2-tap people if you have the buff. The Crimson, while the range is not so great now, it still does a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage that the Crimson is going to be doing, so as long as you don't get too far away from people with the Crimson, it should still be a pretty good one. And then there's the Ace of Spades. If you want a balanced weapon that has just a ton of perks, then the Ace of Spades is going to be for you. Memento Mori makes it really easy to actually kill someone, since it makes it a lot more forgiving. You can only do one head, 2 bodies, and with Memento Mori you'll kill people. And you also have just a ton of perks, like I said. You have High Cow, you have Third Eye, you have Firefly, you have just so many perks in the Ace of Spades that makes it all an amazing package that you should definitely not ignore. So those 4 hand cannons, those are the 4 exotic hand cannons that I recommend that you use. Okay, next up we're going to be talking about pulse rifles. The dad rifles, like some of you guys lovingly call them. The first pulse rifle that we're going to be talking about is going to be the iconic pulse, the Bygones. And the Bygones is great for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's very easy to get. All you gotta do is just go play some Gambit, and after a couple matches, you'll probably have a Bygones. The weapon can also roll with a lot of good perks, so that also helps it quite a bit. The rolls have to be amazing to make the Bygones effective. The stats on the weapon just really carry it. And those stats are some really good stability, amazing recoil control, some great range, and a big magazine. And all of these things combined make the Bygones very effective, but also very easy weapon to use. So if you're looking for a nice pulse rifle, the Bygones may actually be the one that you're looking for. The perks that you're looking for is High Cow rounds, Kill Clip. I would actually recommend Kill Clip. Once you get Kill Clip going on Bygones, you become unstoppable. But even without Kill Clip, it's still pretty good. And Rangefinder is also a good one, just because of the recent nerf that the pulse rifles also got to their range. Rangefinder is good. Now the other pulse rifle, or the pulse sniper rifle hybrid we're talking about, is going to be the Blast Furnace. One of those weapons that for some reason just has some ridiculous range for a pulse rifle. But with this one, you're basically just going to try to take advantage of that range. This won't be as stable as Bygones, but as long as you're ready for the bit of kick that you're gonna get when you fire this weapon, then you're pretty much gonna be good. But this weapon is just very solid, and with this weapon you really want to take advantage of the range as much as we can. You definitely just want to try to outrange your enemies, outrange all those guys with the hand cannons. So because of that, you usually just want to stick to medium range. So always try to have something like a shotgun or a fusion rifle with you, so you can make the most out of this weapon. And if somebody starts to rush you, just switch out of this weapon. It's not super great at close range, because if you start missing some shots, the time to kill on this weapon just becomes pretty terrible. So if somebody starts to rush you, switch to your shotgun, switch to your fusion rifle, and just take them out that way. This one's definitely a medium to long range weapon that you don't really want to use up close too much. And for the perks that you should be looking for, the only one that I really think that makes this weapon just so much better is Quick Draw. Quick Draw just makes this weapon so much better, since the handling of these weapons, the high impact pulse rifles, is usually pretty low. So by putting Quick Draw on that thing, you're just making them feel a lot better and feel a lot snappier. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that Quick Draw. But some of the other perks are just preference, especially since the main thing that we're trying to take advantage of, our range, is already so high to begin with. Our base range is just amazing that you just worry about the other perks. And the final pulse rifle that I actually want to talk about is going to be the Outlast. The one that you get from Gambit Prime or the Reckoning. So yeah, a lot of good weapons coming from Gambit Prime and the Reckoning, and this one's another one. One really good thing that the Outlast has going for it is the curated role. The curated role is actually pretty great, and if you get the curated role, you have a very nice role that you can use. You don't really have to go out of your way to look for amazing rolls. The curated one is pretty good. These types of pulse rifles get above not that long ago with Shadowkeep, and ever since they've been pretty great. They were okay before they even got above, but now they're actually really great. The only bad thing about these pulse rifles that actually makes them harder to use than maybe some of the other ones is that you really have to hit headshots with these things to actually make them be used amazing. Thankfully, this one's actually a pretty stable one, so hitting headshots is actually not that difficult with this one. It's a great sight, it is stable, and the recoil direction is almost vertical. So it's not that hard to actually stay on target, especially if you got the curator roll and you got some send moment, because it's just gonna make the weapon even more stable after you hit the first burst. But if you are hitting your headshots, then you're really just gonna be melting people. It's amazing and it's crazy how fast you can actually kill people with the 540 pulse rifles if you're actually hitting some headshots. Now as we move into the scout rifles, the Gambit Prime weapons continue, because now we're gonna be talking about the Night Watch. The Night Watch is a 200 RPM scout rifle that you get from Gambit Prime or directly. And this thing, it's a beast. One of the best scout rifles in the game is basically a legendary Mida that can get explosive rounds. So if you think the Mida is already annoying, now wait till you get shot by a Mida with explosive rounds, because that's basically what this weapon is. It's an amazing feeling weapon, it's very accurate. It's an amazing feeling weapon, it's very accurate, has super high handling. It usually takes around 4 shots to kill someone, just like with the Mida. So explosive rounds is definitely one that you want to look for on this scout rifle. Try to get explosive rounds if you can. We can also get a kill clip from this weapon, which actually turns this weapon from a 4-shot to kill to a 3-shot to kill. And it makes the weapon even more ridiculous. But I would definitely take explosive rounds over kill clip, mostly because you could always use explosive rounds even if you haven't killed anybody. It's not like kill clip where it requires something. You always have explosive rounds in any fight. And for the final weapon that we're going to be talking about in this video, it's actually going to be a bow. And don't click off the video yet. I know, a bow. You guys might think that I'm crazy. But the bows can actually put in a lot of work. And it's going to be this one, the Subtle Calamity. But the bow can actually be super powerful. You do a ton of damage per shot. And it makes picking people off, even if they're just taking a little bit of damage, super easy. The only thing that's the biggest downside about the bow is that if somebody rushes you, depending on your primary weapon, it can be a little bit tough to deal with them. So my top recommendation would definitely be the last word and the bow, just because you're always going to be covered no matter what range you find yourself in. It's not going to be great in all the maps, but if the map is right, if there's enough medium to long range lines of sight, this loadout is going to be just amazing. But with that final one, guys, we're going to end today's video. I didn't want to make this video too long, so I decided just to put the primary weapons into this video. And in the next video, which should be a day after this one, we're going to be talking about heavy weapons and special weapons. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. And also remember, if I didn't talk about a weapon that you think should be in the video, just comment it down in the comments below, guys. Just leave it down there, and I'm sure the other people that are trying to get to Fable will appreciate it. Anyways, thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.